Hello, my little mathematicians. Today, we're going to help you get started on HMH-312. As always, let's go ahead and read the directions to see what to do. So for the top part, it says write the opposite of each rational number. So the opposite means if it started as a positive, it becomes a negative, and if it started as negative, it becomes a positive. So let's go ahead and take a look at number 1, okay? So what do you think is the opposite of 0.3? Hopefully you said negative 0.3. And then let's also take a look at number 5. What do you think is the opposite of negative 1 and 3/4? That's right, it's positive 1 and 3/4. Again, when you're asked to do the opposite, all you do is you change the sign. Okay, now for the bottom part, it wants you to circle all the different parts of the rational number system that these numbers fall into. Okay, so let's kind of take a refresher here. I always start from the inside and work my way up. So whole numbers, those start with, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. And then each time you move up, you add something. So for integers, it includes all of these as well as their opposites, like -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, and so now rational numbers, going up another step, includes all of those and all the numbers in between it. So maybe like -3.5, or -2.2, or -1 or 0 or 1/3, and so on. So as long as something can be written as a fraction or a decimal, then it's a rational number. So if something's whole, it's also integer and rational. If something's an integer, it's also rational. Okay? So let's take a look at some of these. Again, I always start on the inside and then work my way up. So I'm going to ask myself, is -13 part of the whole number set? No, it doesn't include negatives. So let's move up. Is -13 part of the integer set? Yes, because integers are negative and positive whole numbers. So it's an integer, and if it's an integer, it's also part of the rational subset. Okay. Let's look at one more. Let's kind of skip down to number 13. So is number 13 a whole number, -6.7? No. Is it an integer? A lot of you might have said yes, because the trap is that people think, integers are negative numbers. Well, it's negative and positive whole numbers. Is -6.7 a whole number? No, it's not. So it's actually only rational. Okay. This one, just a bonus for you guys. It's not included as part of the homework. But my one trap to you is you're like, if it's a fraction or a decimal, then it's only rational. Kind of. Let's pretend there was a number 16 here. What if it was 10 over 2? And number 17, let's say that one was -20 over 4. Okay? So the trap is to be like, it's a fraction, so both of these are only rationals. But can these numbers reduce? What's 10 divided by 2? 5. And what's -20 divided by 4? A -5. So in reality, this one is actually whole, integer, and rational. And then this one is integer and rational. So again, if you're doing these, always make sure you reduce your fractions and then test to see what part of the number system it falls into. All right, you got this, my little friends. You're going to do amazing.